While the impact of the devastation in Japan on the global economic recovery is still to be determined, here in Australia, large parts of the business community are trying to assess how they'll be affected. The reason is that Japan is one of Australia's biggest trading partners. Andrew Robertson reports.
David Jacobs has been helping Australian businesses gain a foothold in Japan for more than 20 years. He's a veteran of many Japanese earthquakes and he was in Tokyo last Friday. This time, though, it was different. He thought he was going to die.
I think probably everyone did feel that, certainly the people on the mission. I think there was that sort of sense.
What took David Jacobs to Japan last week was that country's interest in the Australian model of public-private partnership for infrastructure development. It was eerily timely, and he believes companies involved in the negotiations, such as Leighton Holdings, stand to benefit greatly as Japan rebuilds.
It won't be able to do it from the public purse or the government purse. The only way it can do it is by public-private partnerships. And in Australia, we've developed public-private partnership over many years, and what we're doing is exchanging our ideas and our experience with the Japanese.
Japan is Australia's second biggest trading partner behind China, so any major disruption to the Japanese economy will be felt by the Australian business community. Resources dominate exports to Japan, with coal for steel making well out in front. Japan buys 40% of Australia's total beef exports. Manufactured goods head up Australian imports from Japan, with vehicles by far the biggest category. As Japan rebuilds, it won't just be big Australian construction companies reaping the rewards.
And that's going to actually boost demand for a number of the commodities that Australia ships in bulk to Japan. Iron ore, coking coal. The disruption to the nuclear power plant, I think, also could boost demand for LNG.
Richard Rains is the chief executive of meat exporter Sanger Australia. Sanger sells 35,000 tonnes of beef a year to Japan, and Richard Rains says it's too early to say exactly how his company will be affected.
We believe that we will see some changes in that our product will enter the country through different ports, and perhaps there have been processing facilities in that Sendai area that now can no longer process beef anymore, but I'm sure there is additional capacity in other facilities in other parts of the country where the meat can be processed and then hopefully somehow got to the consumers in that area.
Richard Rains is quietly confident any disruption to Sanger's business will only be small and short-term. He also thinks his company may get a boost as Japan looks to replace the lost production from its tsunami-decimated fishing industry.
There is no doubt that somehow these people are going to eat, and food is going to have to come from other areas, and we're hopeful that now quite a bit of that will be beef.
The area affected by the earthquake and tsunami is only a small contributor to Japanese gross domestic product, which will limit any disruption to trade. But some Australian industries could suffer in the short term, such as the car industry, which the Export Finance and Insurance Corporation's Richard Donnelly believes could be hit by a parts shortage.
While the region most affected by this current quake isn't an industrial heartland, it is important in the automotive industry, and it does feature in the automotive supply chain. So I suspect there could be an effect there.
While all the people the ABC spoke to are confident any negative impact on Australian business will be small, that view may change if any of the expected large aftershocks cause serious damage to other regions of Japan.